Invitational, taking on the Stormers!
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another enthralling under-18 final. Here we have the Western Province Invitational team up against the Stormers, and I'm joined again by Susie Appleby. Susie, feels like you've never left.
Feels like it indeed, but I'm excited for this one because I've been coaching a team within this competition, the Honey Badgers, and these two that are taking the field for this final are strong outfits, so this is going to be a cracker.
Brilliant, as we see the Stormers getting hold of the ball. So Western Province, they're unable to hold on to that ball. The Stormers taking it quickly, and off they go. Interesting, Suze, we're always looking at these contrasting styles. So you're looking at this Stormers team, they're obviously looking to push the pace, push the tempo. You can see they've really come out here with intent, and they've sent the ball off to the left there to Natalie DeVos. Great tackle there. Good ball placement, and the Stormers continue to roll on. Great defense there from the Western Province team, getting off the line nicely, staying connected, forcing the Stormers team down to the right-hand side, and unfortunately now conceding a penalty, not rolling away. Stormers taking it quickly, and off they go to the right-hand side with Danielle Pienaar. Fantastic finish by this young woman.
I tell you what, Paul, they have come to keep pace high, haven't they? Everyone asleep, ball's gone off the field. Love that. Quick line out, up and running. Penalty after penalty after penalty because they were taken by surprise. And then, deservedly, wow, pace. That lady with the famous surname, Danielle Pienaar, getting the first points on the board. Awesome.
That's it, and so good to see. You know, we've chatted about the contrasting styles, but I just love to see these teams who push the tempo. I'm such a believer in the tempo game. You look at the best teams in the world, they're the ones who are conditioned to push the pace, put the opposition team under pressure. As we see, Western Province Invitational team now in possession. That's a really good carry down the middle again. They look intent on going through the middle with Mazisa, who gets the ball away. Intelligent play from her. I thought if she had kept going, she might have been isolated. It's now into the hands of Jeshi Schoenman, who's shown real promise throughout this tournament. She's unfortunately isolated on the left-hand side. Sue's just ran away from all her support players.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. So we're going to see potentially contrasting styles because Western Province have big, powerful carriers, but they've also got pace on the edges, whereas the team in possession now, the Stormers, are quick, they're smaller, and therefore, not surprising, they want to keep the ball alive and keep it on the move. But brilliant chase back in defence, and then the awareness to get onside and go through the gate, and quite deservedly get a fantastic jackal to get the ball back.
And you've mentioned the physicality of this Western Province team, dominating that content point now. Stormers have broken out from their own half, and you've mentioned her name earlier. That's Natalie DeVos getting reeled in from behind. And you've touched on, Suze, you know, we talk about attack, but in these tight finals, it's often defense.
Yeah, well,
we knew those games.
And Denala Fila, gosh, we couldn't see the wide angle. I think we'd have seen her streaking across the field with that never say die attitude. Yes, they've turned the ball over, and it was effectively 2 against 1, but she wasn't giving up, was she? And you know, she gets a reward of a turnover. But you know, this Stormer side are showing tenacity, aren't they? They want to play. They're not hanging around.
Yeah, certainly. And teams, as you said, very well matched up. You know, contrasting styles. Province, you can see, very physical, really intent on making the ball physical and making the game physical. I think what the Stormers have done well in the first 4 minutes is they've been able to play their style. They're still moving the ball around, not necessarily getting dragged into that physical battle.
Yeah, they want to disrupt them, surprise them, do the unexpected, and it's had a lot of good effect so far.
As we have a look at Western Province again, there's Skunman carrying the middle. Nice to see her popping up in a playmaking position or a big ball carrying position there in the middle. Province now making good progress up the field. You can see they really have a good plan. They set themselves nicely and up they go. Playing now same side, Skunman in possession again. Sending the ball out to the left to the real speedster there. That's Fila. Fila who gets the ball away to Azra Landor. What a score for Western Province. And I'm here sitting, I think, chewing on my words, saying Province looking to be physical, but when they decide to move the ball around, Susie, my goodness, they're dangerous.
Well, I think it's the organisation that was so impressive, Paul. They took the ball and went to the middle of the field. They clearly had a set-piece play that brought it back to the short side. And then they asked questions of the defence in so doing, because what are the defence going to do? And on that occasion, they overfolded. That means they left too many defenders in the short side and left themselves short, and then they pounced. So that's that. You know, it's clearly off the training ground, which is always really pleasing, isn't it? And allows them the second score, and really probably going to see them settling down now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Skunman in the game, and she's got the ball off to Fila again, who's used that dazzling footwork. We talk about these second efforts and we talk about these big swings, these momentum swings, Suze. I think for the first 4 minutes of this game, all we spoke about were the Stormers, and now the next 2 minutes, back come the Western Province Invitational team. Really good play. Then again, Suze, as you were saying, just possibly catching the Stormers napping there on that short kickoff.
Yeah, well, they're looking to the 10-metre line, aren't they? Because, you know, when you've got a defender in your face and you're trying to field a restart and it's bobbling, it's hard, isn't it, Paul? And on that occasion, you know, doesn't quite get it right, but I tell you what, they weren't hanging around, were they? Western Province were on that, and then it's just rapid, isn't it? It is just, we know where each other are, very well drilled, and, you know, score down the edge.
This Western Province Invitational team certainly has adapted to the tempo of this game. You know, a bit of a slow start, but they've certainly wrestled control of this game from the Stormers. And again, I think I've cursed them, so as we're laughing here, just singing their praises, and there they go, not kicking the ball 10, giving this Stormers outfit an attacking opportunity midfield. High tackle there from Western Province, you know, looking to win those physical battles, as we see the Stormers team up and running again. That's a fantastic take there from Danielle Pinar again. She scored that first try and away she goes. Unstoppable. What a ding-dong battle here, Suze.
She's so sharp. And the thing is, right, so in that first sequence of plays, if you like, they kept the pace high, they took things quickly, they got themselves 3 penalties on the bounce. So they know if that happens, they know they're going to be vulnerable, Western Province, and they did it again. So part of their game plan, potentially move them around, but also attack their weaknesses, which is discipline potentially, and then take advantage. So it's really smart. It's a really smart play, but also it's just instinctive, isn't it? Get on the ball, get to the other end of the field.
Absolutely, and just pushing the tempo. I really like it. You said both teams have a plan, and you can see there's real thought behind it. There's a real willingness to implement that plan, as we see Western Province rolling forward. Unfortunately, the Stormer side just chancing their arm one too many times at the breakdown, as we see the Province side rolling on. That's a fantastic offload into the hands of Azra Landor again, who's been a real danger with ball in hand. Off it went. Oh, the Stormers seem to be offside there, but into the hands of Shanila Hugh, who then gets the ball out to Inga Jim, who sends it out to Skunman, and no one's going to stop Skunman from there. She really is a supreme athlete.
Yeah, look at the physique on her. I think she's part of the, as I understand it, the under-18 Springbok setup last year, and you can see why. You know, she's just finishing the job there. It was relatively straightforward, but she's all over the place connecting the play. And when there's a line break, which there was up the right-hand side of the field, everyone was alive to the opportunity, so they don't all flood to the ball. They maintain their width, maintain their depth, and then they just run onto the ball at pace. And that sounds simplistic, but it's how the game works to be effective and get tries done. So, but a brilliant line break, and this game is going, it's going possession to possession, end to end, and we're loving it, aren't we?
We are. Two of us sitting here with broad smiles on our faces, smiling like Cheshire cats. And again, just so nice to see Schoenmann just getting involved in all facets of the game. We said she's a winger, she's on it, but then we see her pop up at a scrum. She's carrying in the middle of the field, and I think really good reward for all that work she's put in so far. So we see the Stormers again intent on just pushing the pace of the game into the hands of the danger woman, Danielle Pinar. Scored 2 tries in this first half already. It seems like this Western Province Invitational team have now transgressed one too many times. A chat happening now between the referee and Schoenmann. Bit of a warning just for not retreating back. Tensus, I think they're lucky to get away with not.
That's super smart of Schoenmann, because she pushed her players away, encouraged them away, and got to the ref to prevent him from going to his pocket potentially. That's really smart, mature play.
It is. Again, she's been the name on the tip of our tongues for the last 2 minutes. Incredible work there. Smashing tackle by Schoenmann, who then gets up and counter-rucks and wins possession back for Western Province. Really good end to that first half for this Western Province Invitational team. So the last thing they would have wanted was to give the Stormers.
Absolutely. Well, it's gone end to end. We just mentioned it. There's been some standout names that we're already talking about. Pinar, Schumann. Like repeat, and that's the exciting thing. These repeat efforts in a final. You said earlier, you're gonna have to be brave. So it's a tight scoreline. Again, what's the messaging at half time? How brave are we going to be in these next 10 minutes? Real exciting second half to come.
Well done in keeping the ball in contact. Very few turnovers from there. But please, girls, we need to talk. Intensity, pick it up. Okay, girls, listen. Your discipline has to be better the second half. Next one, the ref is annoyed. He's going to give us a card, the next penalty for offside, or for not calling that one. Please, discipline in this last half is so important. And then also, let's stay together, connected as a defensive line. Let's go.
Then like this, for the forward, and then we're gonna go wide.
Look at
What an exciting first half we all witnessed as we look to get cracking now in the second half. Western Province Invitational looking to kick off to the Stormers. They've been quite effective with their kickoffs, shown the willingness to kick into space, and again off they go kicking into space, and Schoenmann straight back into the action, just unfortunately not able to get to the ball early enough and bring it back to her side. And so now we go into the first line out of this game.
Yeah, we've seen some pre-call plays in the last one, so really interested to see what these guys do. They haven't got a large amount of size, have they? So potentially in and out as quick as they can. Over the top it goes, but the call is not straight, unfortunately.
And unfortunately for this talented Stormers team, it's quite difficult being stuck in your 22 playing against the wind at the moment. Very slick and smart play there from the Western Province team to kick in deep behind the Stormers and suffocate and strangle them. And now they've created a turnover for themselves where we have the talented Zoe Anthony with ball in hand. Western Province will look to set a good platform. That's a good scrum from them. As they move forward, off goes the ball into the hands of Schoenman again. At moving into a playmaking role, we've just been so impressed with her.
Yeah, we have, but she actually reads that really well in defence. Had that stuck, she's almost running in the sticks at the other end. And you know, that deception on that set piece play, Paul, as you know, is taking it all the way to the line to preserve space for Schumann to go round her, which they kind of get away with. So it's risk versus reward in terms of that defence. If that ball gets away, Western Province score, but as it happens, you know, they maintain possession. But this is the tactical bit of play, isn't it? You know, how effective and accurate can we be with our start plays? This is a brilliant attacking opportunity in the middle of the field.
Certainly is, especially with Western Province dominating at scrum time. It's good defense from the Stormers, but again, just a great wraparound play. It certainly looks easier than it is, Suze.
Yeah, and that's a really hard place to defend from. You know, that edge defender, the winger in that picture, has to make a decision. She has to get communication from the player inside her, and on that occasion, and that's what the attacker looking for. She bit in because she didn't have that communication, and that's the trigger to pass the ball. And you know, it's well executed, but you know, you just, as I said, it's a very hard place to try and defend from, and as I said, well taken those points there.
So true, Susan. Both of us have been mightily impressed with the Western Province Invitational teams work off the ball. You know, sometimes that it's a skill set that's neglected. You know, just the ability to work into space while the ball carrier is doing her work, and just creating that extra space and really putting the Stormers defense under all sorts of pressure as Western Province restart the game. The Stormers now looking a bit indecisive, though. Some nice forward momentum gained in the middle of the field. The Stormers unfortunately have too many people in that breakdown. They're now moving into space, moving it on. Lucky to get away with that. Western Province were quickly onto that as the Stormers look to go quickly again, marshalling her troops here in the middle, and off that ball goes to Danielle Pinard again, who's certainly been involved. Blindside was an option there, but they decide to go back to the open side, and they've lost it. Suze, opportunity now for Western Province down the middle of the field.
Yeah, they just pounce. They are not going to hang around. Little knock on. She doesn't pick the ball up or kill the game, and then the green mean machines just pounce on it, and back in possession. It's tough. They work their way out of the danger zone, but now they're potentially dropping back into it.
Good carry there from Inga Jim, giving them momentum. Off that ball goes to the talented Fila, and unfortunately that last pass just going forward. West Province certainly have wrestled control of this game away from the Stormers side.
Yeah, they have, and the Stormers are just living on scraps, aren't they? And therefore potentially starting to just force the game a little, because they have to seize opportunities. But that one there, you know, that basketball type pass above the head, it's almost like that, or just pass the ball before the contact, you know what I mean? Because otherwise your support player gets in front of you. But those moments are the learning opportunities in any game, and to take them forward in the future. But here we go again, because Stormers are now going to try and maximise that opportunity.
And again there, Brumilda Fitzgerald, she's been a real live wire, been the one really pushing the tempo for the Stormers team. She's tried her absolute heart out. Discussion going on now between the referee and the touch judge. I'm quite sure what this discussion is. Captain's been called forward, and it's the two playmakers. It's Raylene, it's Danielle Pinard and Zoe Anthony. I don't know what quite transpired there, Suze, but maybe a bit of handbags being thrown.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything myself, but it's all handshakes, isn't it? And
certainly well handled there by the officials. Last thing we want is yellow or red cards in the final.
No, we don't want that. As he touched on, there's the Stormers just forcing it a little. They're still in this game. There's 4 minutes left. We know what can happen very, very quickly. And there's, you know, it's a 2-score game at the moment.
Zoe Anthony in possession now, gets that ball away. Western Province looking to get that ball to the edge, and they do, into the hands of Lekona Masiza, and off she goes. Apologies, that's not Lekona Masiza, that's Azra Lando. We know that running style anyway. I confused that 7 with the 1, but not anymore. Fantastic finish by Western Province.
What pace by that lady on the edge. She had an awful lot to do, Paul. It was not a done deal. She was going to get that score. There was good creativity in the centre field, but Stormers were marshalling it pretty well and pushing her to the edge, but she just went, you know what, throttle down, I'm coming round you, and I'm going in over the try line, and that gives them a comfortable lead now, and Stormers are really going to have to chase this game.
And it looks like Western Province have really flipped the script on them, and they are now looking to push the game on, push the pace of the game, put the Stormers under pressure. Good, a nice deep kick just into the 22 of the Stormers. Great feet there as the Stormers look to make inroads, and again it goes off to Pinar, who's been a real shining light for the Stormers team, and trying hard. It goes away there. That's number 16 Natlo, gets that ball away. The Stormers hanging on to their ball very well. Province set though. They've stayed connected on defense. They've been very, very good. And we've spoken about Fitzgerald. She's tried so hard. She's been at the heart of most of the Stormers' attack. Unfortunately, the 9 from the Stormers, Raylene Manna, just caught in possession. Now, possession back in the hands of Western Province, who've been very abrasive in the second half, carrying very hard, and off that ball goes unselfishly. Schoenman hands it off to Azra Lando. It's like an instant replay, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Lando, that's 2 tries in a minute.
Yeah, and Paul, you mentioned it. They're very impressive in attack, but they're so impressive in defence. They're on their feet, they're connected, they're strong, they're talking. I can't hear them from here, but you can clearly see the communication and the gesticulation, and that's intimidating when you're trying to carry ball in attack, and that causes indecision, and everything combined. I think they're as impressive in defence, which then really does afford them opportunities. And then flick the switch. I think you said it during that passage of play. Flick the switch. Attack, 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 and as you said, selfishly on the edge, selflessly on the edge there, Lando gets over the line. But yeah, I think it's a comprehensive, impressive performance from Western Province.
It is. With under a minute left, the Stormers looking to make their mark. Not a bad option there. Good chase line coming through. Western Province have done well to deal with that, and they now have possession of the ball again. Off they go to the right hand side. Really quick pass to get that ball away. Unfortunately, Lando has done so much fantastic work in this game, just couldn't hang on to that. And with 15 seconds left, you can see that little live wire Brumilda Fitzgerald just wants to get going.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see, isn't it, Paul? It's not gone their way in this final, but she wants to carry on playing. She wants to just handle as much ball as she possibly can, and she's rallying her troops and saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's exactly what we want to see.
Oh, we absolutely do. She's up. Western Province will put a big shove in here. They've been wholly dominant at scrum time. And Fitzgerald comes away with the ball absolutely whacked in that tackle, and now the Stormers in all sorts of trouble going backwards. Ball on the ground. Stormers have secured it, but looking very tight in the middle of the field, and Schoenman with good line speed. Though they get that ball away into the hands of Danielle Pinar once again, and I'm sure it will be scant consolation for her, but to score a hat-trick in a final, no small feat.
Yeah, it's just reward, isn't it? There's been some super impressive individual performances by the Stormers, but en masse, Western Province have been dominant in most facets of the game. It certainly was a contest, but the domination of Western Province, and Really pleased for them. They've been really strong for these past 2 days that we've been playing, consistently performing in games and getting better and better. And icing on the cake for them, we're not playing last tries the winner, unfortunately, for the Stormers, and Western Province are going to go home with a trophy.
Fantastic final there. Brave display from the Stormers team, but well deserved for this brilliant Western Province Invitational team who have dominated from Saturday, from the outset of this tournament. They've dominated and certainly are deserving winners of this final.
Yeah.